Hello, my name is Jamari Ross, and I'm here to talk to you about my Seattle Challenge experience. Seattle Challenge was a truly life-changing experience. I learned so much from it. It wasn't like regular school. We weren't learning things like quadratic formula or dissecting frogs or other kind of boring stuff like that. But we were learning something more important than that. We were learning about being in a community, connecting with our peers, and just having empathy for one another. Sure, we were there to do volunteer work, but we also spent the time laughing and smiling with our friends. Even though a lot of us did not talk before the Seattle Challenge and haven't talked to each other since Seattle Challenge, we still could count on each other and laugh and smile with each other in a way that I feel like only friends can. My most memorable experience from Seattle Challenge is probably when my group went to an agency to staple together coloring books for preschools. And I think we were supposed to do, staple together about 80 coloring books in an hour, but we got into an assembly line and stapled together all the sheets they gave us in about 15 minutes. So a volunteer went to go print out more sheets, so we just played hangman and cracked jokes, had a great time. And in the end, we made twice as many coloring books as we were supposed to do in about half the time. So I'm really proud of that. And we talked about the entire time. Everyone I have talked to about Seattle Challenge has had something to say about the amount of walking that was involved. But Seattle Challenge is definitely more than just having sore legs the day after. There were highs and lows, times where we were having so much fun, and times where we really just wanted to go home. But everyone said that they gained empathy and fulfillment from this experience. One of my friends said that helping others really helps us help ourselves, and that couldn't be more true. As we're moving up and moving forward in our lives, we have to say goodbye to some things. We might not be in the same classrooms, might not have the same teachers. Some of our friends might even be going to different schools, but we will never have to say goodbye to these memories and these experiences. Now I'd like to hand it over to Ivy to share about her Seattle Challenge experience.
Thank you, Jamari. As you mentioned, many of us have stories from Seattle Challenge that stand out. Some of the most memorable moments come from our teachers and advisors telling us why we were participating, or the nervousness we felt sitting with peers we didn't know well. There were times when nerves led to bad moods, and I admit I was one of those guilty of it, but Seattle Challenge wasn't really about us. My impactful moment was walking to all our volunteer locations. One of the adults in my group thought it'd be a fun and healthy way of transportation. But of course, a bunch of middle schoolers were not joyous at the idea of walking. As we walked those thousands and thousands of steps, we got to see new scenery, see the people and community around us. Even if we were silent, we were still together as a team. The Seattle Challenge was created to help those in need, but it also provided us with an opportunity to connect with fellow students and connect with people outside in our community. I got that chance to engage with some of our unhoused population at Recovery Cafe and hear their stories. I came to the realization that people are not defined by their current situations, but by their heart and authenticity. I gained a deeper understanding of the world around us. It taught me how to view my community with empathy and how to grow into a more aware and compassionate person. We learned a lot, but we're still 8th graders after all. So I'm happy to say we got to have moments of connection and fun, as one of my group mates caught a fish at Pike Place when we placed gum on the gum wall and even made Italian sodas. I can look back and say I did genuinely enjoy Seattle Challenge, and I'm grateful for those memories it gave me. I'll now turn it over to Giselle, who was one of the adults with us during our Seattle Challenge.
I'm not sure which one to go to. Thank you so much, Jamari and Ivy, and to all of our students who took place in Seattle Challenge. Yes, I was one of those adults on this year's experience, and like many of you, students and teachers alike, thank you so much. There are moments from those days that are going to stay with me forever. One that stands out wasn't during that amazing time that my group spent at the Southeast Senior Center, though for sure watching Gray and Ethan become expert onion choppers as we prepared lunch, and then seeing Cammie and Sarani jump into a volleyball game with a group of elderly folks. That was unforgettable. But this moment took place, as you've heard, on one of our long walks. Yeah, we walked a lot between service sites. And a student turned to me and said, "Wait, we've walked that far already?" And yes, walking this distance was just a major topic of conversation, and for good reason. But as I think about it now, those miles really gave us the space to slow down, to take in our surroundings, and to truly see this city and its people. And even during those quieter moments, or during some of our group's spirited debates about what items to include in the care kits that we made for people experiencing homelessness, there was always that sense of shared purpose. What stayed with me most, though, was watching all of you keep showing up. You showed up for your community. You showed up for people you didn't know. You showed up for each other and for yourselves. The Seattle Challenge, as you've heard from Jamari and from Ivy, it's not just about service. It's about empathy and stepping out of your comfort zone. Most importantly, it's about connection and sitting alongside people who have a different life experience than you do and working towards something far bigger than yourselves. You each grew into more aware, compassionate, and connected people. And that's the real challenge in this world right now, and the real success of this experience. Congratulations, 8th grade. Keep challenging yourself and each other on your journey ahead. And now we'll hear some good advice from our faculty just for you, 8th grade. Congrats.